Hello, everyone. Mali Pompadith here, CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of SOAR Community Nebula. We are interviewing, or at least the goal is to interview 1,000 community champions and change agents this year. And we are delighted to share with you somebody that is really special, at least to me, and I hope soon with you, Lisa Nicholls. Lisa, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, Molly, after that lead-in, how wonderful. I adore you and what you're doing. So I'm very happy to be a part of this and really excited about what you're doing and watching soar as it does. So I think it's going to be just an amazing time. And I'm honored to be one of the interviewees.
Thank you so much for saying yes, first of all. And so let's start with you sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do in the world professionally. Let's start there.
Sure. So I'm Lisa Nicholls of Tier Strategies. I've had my own social media marketing company for the past almost 9 years. It opened in 2010. And what I do is I help small to medium businesses develop a social media presence that brings customers to them through strategy, through postings, through content, through branding, etc. And I also run a community on Facebook through a Facebook group called the Social Visibility Society. And that lets me help those who are beyond my clients better learn to use social media to grow their business.
That's great. Okay, so now let's talk about your experiences in life, Lisa. Anything that comes to mind when you think about either someone or experience that's really shifted your way of thinking, shifted the way in which you operate in the world?
So, it's funny because I really spent some time thinking about this question and about who's had a big role in my life. And one of the people that stands out so much is a teacher I had in 5th grade, which is so long ago. Her name was Mrs. Cinto. And we had good teachers growing up, but Mrs. Cinto took a really big interest in her kids, and especially the kids. I lived in Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut. It's a very affluent area. And I think she took a special interest in the kids that weren't so affluent in this affluent corner of the world. So she invited us over to her house, and she would do great fun things with us, took us to plays that her husband was in, and just, I think, really exposed me to the relationship between her and her husband, which was very loving. I was, my parents had divorced when I was 8. So I had that going, and then just opening up my eyes to the world and how people can be so kind and wonderful and instrumental in making your life better. And she just had a huge impact on me, and I really appreciated her for that.
That's great. Doing these interview series, it's amazing because I have so many stories that we've captured about teachers or someone in our lives very, very, very early on that just kind of created that imprint, a lasting imprint. So it's neat to kind of hear that theme keep going. I love it.
That's cool. And I have another one for you too. This is quick. My business coach, Rita, it's so funny. We've been working together for a few years. She's been instrumental, I think, opening me up more to the woo side of my business, which is and it kind of dovetailed with meeting you. So I just think that all of that came together beautifully and really broadened my horizons and how I feel. I do a lot of mindset work now. I've even meditated a little bit in the morning. So, just opening up that side of life for me has been amazing. So thank you to you and Rita for doing that.
That's awesome. Well, it's interesting because many years ago when I launched the business, coming out and saying that I was doing messaging from the heart, I used to get a lot of criticism about why did I leave financial services to come do this woo-woo, sappy work. And it's incredible to watch in the last 8 years since I launched the business that it's really no longer woo-woo. It's becoming more of what's necessary to be a holistic person, entrepreneur, fill in the blank, right? To really be in that space where personal and business do have to be the same in terms of how we operate. So we feel a sense of peace and harmony in what we do. So it's neat to kind of see all that happening and that you're embracing it too.
I know.
So Lisa, when you think about a champion for change and a community builder, what characteristics or attributes come to mind for you? And what do you admire about these types of folks?
So, in thinking about a community champion and what I think they bring to the table and to the community, I always think of someone who's very selfless and giving, and just mindful of the world around them, but also innovative and unafraid to plunge forward. And I admire that fearlessness, because I think to be a community champion and a change agent, you really have to be fearless and put yourself aside. And I so admire the ability to do that and just stand up for what's right. And I think that's really important.
And so now let's talk now about the causes that matter to you. I know you do a lot behind the scenes. You don't talk about it much, but I know your heart. So let's talk about some of the things that you really go out of your way to support, and why.
Okay, so there's a couple of big things for me. First of all, I love helping small businesses. I think that's why I'm in the area I'm in. And that's why I actually started my Facebook group, because I realized that not everybody could hire me to help with their social media, and so many people don't do it well. So helping small businesses grow is huge. I want all of us who are in this space to be successful and to support each other. And as a subset of that, I also love helping women do what they do and get better. So I'm a firm believer in building your tribe and having supportive women who are in your life and who support each other and who have each other's backs. And so one of the ways that I've made that happen is by joining the National Association of Women Business Owners, NAWBO, our local chapter, and I'm on the board. And that way I can be more instrumental in helping women grow. And what I love about NAWBO is that it's nationwide. So we have a teaching component and kind of it's not just a networking group, it goes beyond that. And it helps train women leaders and support them. And I love being able to do that through NAWBO. So I'm thrilled to be on the board and thrilled to be helping with it. And I just see many more years of that in my life. Nice. And the other one is a little more personal. Let's see, I'm a big animal rescue advocate. So while I don't currently volunteer at shelters, I do give money, and I'm always forwarding the message of adopt, don't shop. We have a rescue dog and 2 rescue cats. And, really, if I had a life I wanted to lead, I would probably have a farm with all these rescue animals on it and just do that and save all of them. So.
Hey, that is a total possibility for what you're manifesting. So that's awesome. I can see that. I'm glad you brought that up, because I know that is something very special to you, because I follow you on social media. So I'm glad you mentioned it.
I know, Instagram, whenever you're in groups and people ask you to share your Instagram feed and what it's about, and I'll say, well, I share some business, but it's mostly pictures of my dog and cats and, all the stupid stuff they're doing. So I am a big advocate of that, of, people being kind to animals and just treating them well, and to, stopping the puppy mills. There's a whole lot behind it, and giving there's so many animals get euthanized every year in shelters. And actually labs are one of the breeds that get euthanized the most. And it's just sad when you think that they're everybody's family dog, but people just discard them. So, I try and get the word out as much as I can to rescue. So it's a big deal for me.
Very cool. Lisa, can you share a philosophy or a motto or a quote that empowers you to keep going, that inspires you to move forward when maybe things don't feel so good?
That one, I was trying to think of what quotes and mottos I love. And I always just think be fearless is a good one, because you just have to always keep going as a business owner and someone who wants to be a leader. You just have to be fearless and doing what you think is right. And that's a big deal for me. And I'm always trying to remind myself. MLK and Martin Luther King Jr. had a quote that said, the time is always right to do what is right. And I truly believe that. Like, it's so much better when you look out, try and do the right thing, do unto others, and try to do the right thing by people and treat them the way you want to be treated. And it's hard to keep in mind sometimes, all the time, but I think that if we all did that, we'd be kinder. And I think that's a big deal. And the other one is to stop shrinking yourself to fit the places you've outgrown, because I think too often we look back at what we've done and are afraid to reach beyond that into what we want to do or what we want to be. And we can be so much more. It really is just all in your head. Whatever you want to be, you can if you envision it. And so I think that all of us need to just stop getting mired in what we think our limitations are and just move forward into what they can be. And so, those are both very important to me. And then, the final one is gratitude. I always like to cultivate gratitude. So I actually write in a gratitude journal every day, and always want to keep in mind there are so many things to be thankful for. And I want to have a positive outlook on life. And if I can remember what I'm thankful and grateful for, I think that helps me maintain that more positive outlook.
how do you keep those daily practices going?
Well, yeah, I know, right? Especially the time is always right to do what's right. So actually with gratitude and being thankful, I have every morning, I'm a very impatient person, right? So when I say I meditate, I say I do my version of meditating, which is like 5 whopping minutes of breathing in the good stuff that I want to happen that day and breathing out the bad stuff. But after that, I also sit and write one thing that I'm grateful for from the day before. And and that kind of makes me every day, I kind of look back on my day and go, what was I grateful for today? And what's going to be tomorrow? What am I going to be grateful for tomorrow? And so it makes me appreciate the people in my life and the circumstances that I have. And it makes me, I think, just value and treasure them more because they've brought me happiness and made me think about gratitude. So I think that one has been a big one for me in terms of keeping that in mind and, more than anything else. And in terms of, trying to grow and stop shrinking to fit the places I've always outgrown, I think it helps having a support group and a tribe that is always just kind of cheering for you to move forward and be better. And I always want to be that better person. So I kind of have to get over the inertia of staying where I am and just do uncomfortable things. And I have, a mastermind that helps me do that and coaches that help me do that, to always say, okay, well, what can you do now that, you're going to be uncomfortable doing? What can you do now to push forward? And I think those are all help. So helpful. So I think support is always a big thing of, anything we do.
Great. And so last but not least, this is a very important question that I did not send to anybody in advance. When you think of a better world, what's in your vision? What would a better world look like for you?
That's a big one. There's so much hatred and bad things going on right now. And so for me, I'm going to get choked up about this. I want us all to be kinder people and more tolerant. And I think that that's crucial. I want people to be happy. I want us to be able to tolerate each other's differences and embrace them if we can. I want there to be less hate. I want us to be healthy. I want us to have access to health as much as we can and not have to, go bankrupt to embrace that health. So I also want us to have a world where we're not worried about it, climate change and destroying our planet. So I think for me, is it maybe the Lorax world is kind of what I think of, where it's green and happy and loving and kind. And so if I can do a little bit and if I can do a little bit and help people along that journey, that means a lot to me. So.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing what's in your heart to share. I really value your mentorship, your friendship, your guidance, and your heart in all the good things that you do. We never know who we touch with the work that we do, right? For-profit, nonprofit, doesn't matter. Our gifts and talents are being put out there, and we're intentional about it. So we never know the ripple effect. Lisa, thank you so much for your time. How can people learn more about you and the causes that you care about?
Okay, well, thank you, first of all, for having me. I love you, Molly. I just think everything you do is you soothe my soul every time I talk to you. It's amazing. So thank you for that. So best places to reach me are online. My Facebook group, the Social Visibility Society, although it's geared towards social media and helping people with social media, that's a big deal for me. So it's a great place for people to find me and to interact and to get tips on better using social media. And then my Facebook business page is Tira, T-I-R-A Strategies. And I'm on Instagram a lot. So if you're big into cats and dogs, that's my Instagram page. Lisa A. Nicholls. It's Lisa A. Nicholls. And those are great places to find me. And I'm always around. All you have to do is tag me and I'll jump in and answer.
Great. Thank you again so much for your time today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everyone who's watching, thanks again for tuning in. If you are interested in nominating a community builder or a change agent, please do reach out to us. If you're interested in learning what membership benefits look like to become a change agent Nebula member, please visit nebula.soar, S-O-A-R, communitynetwork.com. And we thank you for watching our interview series. These change agents are amazing. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thanks, Molly.